Hey, yo. Check it.
Welcome back, hero.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind to lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast.
This is where the
music is playing.
The music is playing.
Are we interacting? Are we acting out the sounds again?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, I'm with that. Go with that.
Boom.
We in there. Yo, what episode is this?
Oh shit! Episode 31. Episode Charlie Villanueva.
Yo, episode
Yikes.
Bastion Telfair.
Oh.
Yo, let me tell you something about Bassie, bro. When I was a freshman in college, he had this movie called Through the Fire.
Dog, we used to watch that shit on the bus on the way to games.
Shout out to my old college teammate, my homie Anthony Vicks. Man, we used to watch this movie religiously, man, and just get inspired and hit the gym, get some shots up. You know what I mean? And Bassie's journey was so dope, and that movie was so dope. And just, I really wanted him to succeed. I think he would have benefited more from. I think he should have went to college, obviously, you know, so he could have developed more of a game and better jumper. But I mean, he had that movie that little documentary gave you a good insight of the people's situation and why they have to make that jump. Because they had so many people relying on family as a hero.
There's one line from that movie that I'll never forget, bro. This nigga said, that's why we be smacking teams, because we be pissed off. We gotta walk to the game.
Yeah.
And we be mad as hell, so we just blow the team out.
Yeah, that was dope. What he said.
That's why we be smacking teams.
They were so New York too. That's why we be smacking teams. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Shout out to Sebastian Telfair, Through the Fire. Episode Reggie Miller.
Hey, right.
Hey, man.
Wet.
I hate Reggie as a commentator, but Reggie was a killer.
Yeah, he sucks as a commentator. What the fuck is that about? Like, why? What happened there? He's so annoying, dog. Like,
who is the worst commentator? Reggie Miller or Chris Webber?
Yeah, I gotta give Chris Webber
overanalyzes everything, and then it'll be like 5 plays later, and he'll still be talking about.
No, that's what I was gonna say. The thing I don't like about Chris Webber, I mean, I gotta give him love, a Detroit boy.
I love Chris Webber, but he's super.
But dog, he be like 4 plays behind and still talking about some shit. Like, bro. Like, come on, Chris.
He's there. He got the ball. He faced up. He shot it, right? Now he shoot it. That's 2 points. How many points is that? 2. He faces around, makes a move there. And by the time he's done, man, going to a commercial. Boy, he's still
right. And then he comes back
down the turnaround fadeaway from 6 minutes ago.
Right, bro. Then he comes back on from the commercial break. So remember we talked last time about that 2-point jump shot.
No. Yeah, man. Episode Antonio Cromartie, the cornerback who has like 19 kids and like 12 baby mamas from there.
Bro, I read somewhere that this nigga got a vasectomy and still got a chick pregnant. Like, right afterwards. That nigga is fertile as hell.
That's his quirk. That's his quirk, man. He just got a unlucky one. Episode Priest Holmes, man. Priest Holmes was dope. Priest Holmes, it was like one of the first running backs where you were starting to be like, dang, running backs really just disappear after like 4 years.
Yeah, 3-4 years, it's a wrap.
That's messed up. And that does it for the sports section of the SwordCast. So yeah, man, we here again, episode 31, quarantine style. You know, same as last time. We are able to bring you guys a little video again. You guys kind of said you enjoyed it a little bit, so we're giving you guys a little more video here again. And, you know, still figuring out the sound and everything, but thank you all for sticking with us. I know you guys need some stuff to listen to, some stuff to watch. So, you know, man, we're going to get into some things here. So we're recording this on a Sunday. It's WrestleMania weekend. And we actually just got done watching WrestleMania right now.
Did just watch it.
KO Mania, baby. Shout out to Kevin Owens, one of my favorites right now. So
he had a good match. He had a really good match.
So yeah, bro, with it, you know, before we get into what you're into currently right now, so just WrestleMania in general, man, it's mad weird. You know what I mean? Having an empty arena show and not being able to have fans there, because WrestleMania, it's bigger than the Super Bowl, man. It's when WrestleMania goes to a town, a city, it takes over the entire, you know what I'm saying, place.
State. Takes over the whole state.
Yeah, the state. It's so huge. So it has been absolutely nuts to see, you know, this company, this larger than life, you know, company kind of have to deal with this empty arena thing for WrestleMania. So
yeah.
Before we get into this year's WrestleMania, what is your all-time favorite WrestleMania match?
Yeah. So for me, it's easy because I'm like WrestleMania 2 years ago is what got me back into wrestling because I wanted to see AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, which turned out to be a little bit disappointing. It wasn't nearly as good as it wasn't nearly as good as their match in New Japan.
Their match in New Japan was way better. It's one of my favorite matches ever. I think that match was I don't think the match was bad. I don't think it was anywhere near as good as their Japan match. But that match was also kind of a victim of unfair expectations.
Right. It's just WWE. It's not going to be the same thing as New Japan.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that said, I mean, I enjoyed it though, just because I liked the spectacle of everything leading up to that was cool. But it's got to be, bro. I was so invested in the Kofi storyline, bro. It's got to be Kofi Daniel Bryan from last year. Like that's just
Kofi Mania, baby, for life.
Because we talked about this yesterday off air. Like I was like, it was one of those things where it's like, bro, Vince ain't really about to give this nigga the belt. But it's also, right?
You kidding me? You think because I jumped through all the hoops and the rest of your life you're going to be able to jump through the hoops here? What is that, a circus?
As a matter of fact, you belong to the circus. Just not my circus.
No.
My thing is though, like it was also one of those things where like he's not really about to give him the title. But if he didn't give him the title, that would be ridiculously like.
Yo, and I mean, and you got to remember, man, the one WrestleMania where, you know what I mean, like, and let's think about it, right? We always make fun of Vince. We always talk about Vince is racist and all these things. Look at him, he's black. He's an animal, right?
Right.
We do that all the time, but. I mean, do you know, a lot of people, did you know that The Rock has never won a title match at WrestleMania?
Wow. You know I did not know that, no.
Never won a title match at WrestleMania. The year Booker T fought Triple H for the world title, Triple H was openly racist with Booker T. People like you don't get to be champion. Remember that?
Yeah,
right?
Bro. Yes.
And he beats him clean at WrestleMania. So even though it would have been absolutely crazy for Kofi to not win, in the back of our minds, we all knew it was something. It was very,
very possible.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel you on that. Kofi winning was one of the best feel good moments ever. Probably
Absolutely.
top, for me as far as WWE goes. The match itself was really good too, man. Like Kofi showed up there. Shout out to Daniel Bryan, you know what I mean, being a world class in-ring worker like he is. And I was so here for vegan douchebag Daniel Bryan too.
Yeah, that was a dope.
You know
that was a dope gimmick.
That's a really dope gimmick. So shout out to Daniel Bryan. But my favorite WrestleMania match of all time is it's the GOAT, man. It's the GOAT. I didn't even plan this. I just looked down and it was right there. Ricky Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 3 here in Michigan at the Pontiac Silver Dome.
Oh, it was at the Silver Dome?
90,000 people. Greatest WrestleMania match ever. I don't care. It's my favorite. Was I alive? No. Does that matter? No. Because I was a kid. I used to go to Blockbuster every Friday. My mom would take me and my brother. And I would always run a wrestling video. My brother used to get sick of me running these old wrestling tapes, right? So I ran in WrestleMania 3, and I just remember watching this match and just thinking, like, wow, why doesn't everybody wrestle like that? You know what I mean? I don't know if you've ever seen Ricky the Dragon versus Macho Man at WrestleMania 3, but it is...
Yeah, fast paced.
You know what I mean? It is very fast paced. Like it's definitely was a stepping stone for the way that people wrestle now. You know what I mean? And I just remember seeing that match at the time and just being like, yo, why don't these big dudes all wrestle like this? You know what I mean? So shout out to WrestleMania 3, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's one of my all-time favorites. Shout out to Macho Man Randy Savage, rest in peace. Rest in peace to the Macho Man, yeah. You know what I mean? And so yeah, that's my favorite WrestleMania.
Hold on real quick. You talked about like why don't all big guys wrestle this way? And then I just imagine like, someone trying to explain that to Vince McMahon, and then all of a sudden Brock Lesnar like shows up. Holy crap, Brock! Hey, we want to get that guy. Big Show. Hey, come here from WCW. Big Show, come here. We're gonna push you to the moon because you're a 7 foot tall, 800-pound gorilla.
Exactly, bro. Vince is a physique fiend.
Yeah, bro. Like he's got like some sort of like a homoerotic, like, which is fine, but it's like
got long hair too. Look at him, he's beautiful.
He's got long hair, he's got huge boobs. We need him.
Look at those shoulder blades. Goodness. Cut an apple on those. Yeah, right. Man, Vince still Vince very much still thinks it's 1986. But in the spirit of WrestleMania, we just got done watching WrestleMania 36. I mean, they made it 2 days. Obviously, biting New Japan Pro Wrestling, they made Wrestle Kingdom 2 days this year, and it was amazing. But so that was cool though. They made it 2 days. In my opinion, man, I just think all things considered, with the virus and everything and the empty arena show, I thought it was I thought it was decent. You know what I mean? Everything that they had to, all the things considered, I thought it was a decent show. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was decent. It was decent. All things considered, for sure. It could have been way worse. They had to make a decision. Are they going to? Should they even do it or not? And if they're going to do it, let's give it our best. Vince was still trying to have it
regularly,
right? And just invite a bunch of idiot fans in, and you already know that if he wouldn't have got government shutdown, he would have most certainly had it. Still have it for sure. So, the effort that they put in, the matches themselves were fine. Some of them great, some of them trash, but I mean, it was standard WWE type stuff.
It it was, like you said, standard WWE stuff. Let's talk about the Undertaker thing. I am someone who loves, so let's talk about pro wrestling, right? We always talk about how it's a drama. It's the blend of athleticism and drama. You know what I mean? It's a show. I am always, with that said, I love when wrestling captures my imagination, right? I'm huge on the in-ring talent and the athleticism and the ability of wrestlers, but I'm always here for like the quirky, over-the-top nonsense. That's why I like Lucha Underground so much. You know what I mean? This Undertaker boneyard bit was fantastic to me because it was that. You know what I mean? Undertaker's old. I would much rather see him do that than actually get in the ring and have a match. You know what I mean? We all grew up viewing the Undertaker as this like scary, inhuman figure. You know what I mean? So why ruin that for me and keep having him wrestle when he's like 80 years old when you could have just had him doing some post production? It's shot like a movie. You know what I mean? You could have just had him doing that the last couple of years.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it was interesting. I will say that when it first started, it took me a minute to suspend my disbelief, bro. It took me a minute to be like, all right, okay, I guess they're like,
I guess we're doing this.
Yeah, I guess they're really gonna lean into this shit 1,000%.
That's where I see. I'm the type where when AJ Styles pushed him in the grave and goes to bury him, and then he turns around and Undertaker's behind him. See, I'm like, he's not human. I knew it.
Superpowers confirmed.
Exactly, bro. Supernatural abilities confirmed.
So here's my super hot take to kind of segue into the next thing that I wanted to touch on. Once I was able to suspend my disbelief on it, I was like, all right, this is a comic book basically, and the Undertaker is a superpowered dead man. Awesome. And then when you take that same energy and then you take it to like the next generation, and you got Bray Wyatt and his Firefly Funhouse, that shit was incredible. I was really, really into that. And shout out to I'm not a fan of John Cena at all, but shout out to him for playing along on that shit. Like he really did a good job.
The guy, yeah, man. I'm not a fan of John Cena either, but he definitely does. He always does right by the business for sure. I think I was here for the Bray Wyatt bit too. Super creative. Bray's a genius, man. He's a mastermind, and he doesn't always get to do what he's capable of doing. So I love seeing him get to do something, crazy like that. There were so many messages in there about Vince's taste and and I just thought it was amazing. I really liked that. My favorite match was probably Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That match was probably the best wrestling match. Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley was really good too. I enjoyed
I hate that Charlotte won though. Like I'm so tired of winning belts. I'm so tired of that shit.
We're all kind of tired of that, but it is what it is. It's not something they're going to stop doing. They're trying to get her to pass her dad. The Nature Boy. Woo!
Is that what that's about? They're just trying to get her to get her dad's wet record. That's what that is.
Absolutely, that's all it is. You know what I mean? It's super whack. I don't
that's
like
trash.
that, but that's what they're doing, man. So you can't really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's just, the only reason why I trip about that is that it's not like it ain't other amazing women wrestlers out there. Like she's not. She's great. She's one of the all-time greats.
Great,
but she doesn't stand alone.
No.
Hell no.
I mean, there's a lot. Like you said, there's a lot more there's a lot out there, man, and you're taking opportunities away from some of these other ones just so she can have some freakish number of title reigns. I'm not really here for it. But yeah, man, overall, I thought they did good with what they had. I'm glad Drew McIntyre won the title. That match was really quick and lazy. I didn't like the actual match itself, but
I actually thought that ladder match with the New Day and John Morrison.
I was gonna say that I enjoyed that match too. I thought it was a super creative finish.
Yeah,
that's kind of a little gift of being able to record it and do post on it. You know what I mean? The angles they had and the whole thing with him. I've seen a million ladder matches. I've never seen a finish like that. You know, where they pull down the actual thing that what I'm saying, that the belts were on, and then he pulls them and falls down. I thought that match was really dope. And John, first of all, Kofi is fantastic.
I was just about to say, John, I didn't know he could wrestle like that. He's really good.
Very impressive, super athletic. He's been around for a while. He's really, really good athletic wrestler. But Kofi, man, he's so good. I hope people appreciate him because Kofi is very, very good, man. I love Kofi.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, so WrestleMania 36 in the books. Just real quick, when we do get back to being able to have fans and, you know, the show and everything like that, who's somebody you want to see win a title?
Oh, who would I want to see win a title? I mean, Shinsuke was the reason why I got back into wrestling. I know he's kind of on the sideline right now.
Doesn't care what's going on. You know what I mean? He don't really care. It's very clear.
In terms of people in WWE right now who I would feel that's a similar type of investment, I would say right now it would probably, on the female side, it would be Bianca. I mean, it was Ember Moon, but Ember Moon, she's been hurt for forever. It's probably going to be Bianca Belair. And on the men's side, it would probably be Mustafa Ali. He's crazy.
Nice. I like it. Mustafa Ali is dope. I love Mustafa Ali. For me, women, it would definitely be Io Shirai. I want to see her win the NXT Women's title. I think that you will get yours first. I think Bianca Belair would be the one to beat Charlotte. And take it from her. Yeah, for sure. She's a beast. And then as far as men, I would say Aleister Black. I liked his match too at WrestleMania. His entrance gear was really dope.
Yeah, this shit was dope.
I'm super big Aleister Black fan, obviously, martial arts, that whole thing. So shout out to him. And, you know, WrestleMania 36 in the books.
Right.
But with that said, talking about WrestleMania a little bit, what are you into currently, man, right now during these quarantine times?
Hey, man, look, dog. You know what I'm saying? I happen to play a little video game. That God of War shit y'all niggas be talking about, that shit's all right.
Go ahead, man. Just admit it, bro. Say it.
That shit's all right. I guess it's okay. I guess it's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Nah, God of War 4 or God of War whatever on PS4. That shit's amazing. Here's the thing, bro. I was not a fan of God of War 1, 2, 3, the original ones on like PlayStation and PS3. Was not a fan. And here's a little bit of a hot take. I liked Devil May Cry. I liked Onimusha. Those weren't my favorite games in the world. You know what I'm saying? All right, sorry. Right. I liked them. They were good. I played them. I beat them. I enjoyed them. But that's not the kind of game I got excited about. Like, I'm very much story driven. Like, I want the combat to be a little bit more involved. Like, I want
a little parry system,
little counter system. I need some meta game. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of game. That's the kind of it needs to be layered. And when just a straight up hack and slash where all you got to do is just like spam attack with Kratos, that didn't do it for me.
Not gonna be able to do it.
And I thought that God of War. I mean, God of War's 1, 2, and 3 were like. I mean, the boss battles were always epic. Like, there's no doubt about that. But if you just pressed attack nonstop, you would usually win. You know what I'm saying? But in this game, I thought it was going to be like that, but it's not. It's much the pace is much slower. It's way more story based, way more story driven, and it's got a parry counter system that I love. And it also has that old school God of War cinematics. Like, there's one. I mean, with minimal spoilers, there's a boss early in the game. There's a dragon that you got to fight, like a big, giant, fucking, like, skyscraper-sized dragon that you have to fight. And the ending animation is somehow Kratos does a crazy thing where he kills the dragon and ends up landing, like doing a superhero landing, and the dragon's mouth like falls open, like right where he's standing, but like with his mouth open, so he just stands like right in the middle of his like gaping maw. That's just really it was really, really dope. I was like, all right, the cinematics here are impressive. So yeah, and it's really like the lore is really interesting because, you know, in the original God of War games, like the gods were the enemy, right? Like Zeus and all of them were the enemy. Now, and it hasn't been fully explained. I'm sure all you nerds who've already beaten this game already know what's up. I've not gotten there. I'm only about 2 or 3 hours into the game. But, you know, according to the mythos of the game, Kratos has now entered the realm of Asgard, and now he's dealing with all of the Asgardian gods, all the the Norse gods.
Oh yeah, I know about this.
Right, and so like Thor is like you go from Thor being a hero in the Marvel universe to him being like one of the main bad guys in God of War. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to play out.
That's dope.
Yeah. Again, so suffice to say, I've been playing a lot of God of War. That shit's sweet as hell. And as soon as that's over, I already got Final Fantasy VII Remake on pre-order, so that shit's next.
Yeah, I'm getting in that too. So that's dope, man. I have just been finishing Handsome Siblings last week. We were talking about our favorite live action shows. My number one was Handsome Siblings. It's a martial arts drama on Netflix. It's an amazing show. I'm almost done with it. I've just been watching that. Things been picking up, getting a little crazy. A lot of they are who we thought they were. A lot of those moments going on. You know what I mean? It's dope, man. I love the show. But also, man, you know, I got my hands on The Rise of Skywalker, you know, finally, so I can finally watch that as many times as I want. Look, man, all you negative Star Wars fans, go somewhere. I love that movie. I've watched it like 5 times. I just keep watching it. There's only 2 things that bother me about that movie. And one, I cannot stand what they did to Finn and Rose's relationship. It's so awkward. It's just I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, clearly there was something being built there in Last Jedi, and they just didn't. You know what I mean? We talked about it when the movie came out.
100%. Bro, that shit was 100% due to the fact that she got such a bad reaction, and that was total shame on J.J. Abrams for doing that and not having. Because basically, what you're telling. What's the actress's name? Kelly Marie Tran. You're basically telling her like, yeah, like niggas are racist, but like we trying to make this money, so you're gonna have to just chill for this movie.
Trash.
If I was her, I would be super offended by that. Like, yo, so that's how you know. So you don't have my back, so you're not an ally.
Exactly. And then I feel like she got off of social media too, right? Which is whack, because I remember I'm going to tweet her you know what I mean, and support and that kind of
100%. Yeah.
Because y'all were so mad that you got her off the internet. That's so whack.
Right.
You got a nice quarantine goatee going there, bro. I wish I could hit those straws. I obviously I look like a caveman, but not like you though. I want that.
Man, the trick is just to fucking, bro. The trick is that you got to open your third eye, brother. You know what I'm saying? You got to overstand. You know what I'm saying? Stop. Well, actually, your diet is better than anybody I know, but you know what I'm saying? You got to open your third eye and stop being asleep. You know what I'm saying? There you go. There you go. Use the force. Use the force.
Hey there. What's going on, man?
Yeah, man.
I'm struggling.
Dog, it sounds like you just went through a wormhole just now. What the bloody hell is going on right now? What the hell is going on here?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it sounds like you just fell into a wormhole.
That was a light struggle. Light struggle.
Boom, there he is.
Boom, there he is. He's back. He's still one half of the SwordCast, struggling a little bit.
There you go.
Made it happen. But yeah, man, you know, Luke Skywalker from destroying you know, a couple walkers, Death Star. Right. Legend releases the best Star Wars pilot ever. All right, man, moving on.
Oh, wow.
I always got to slide that in there, man.
Hey, a young man by the name of Poe Dameron might have a word. Yo, boy, hold on a dog. Wait a second, dog. Do you remember The Force Awakens when this nigga Poe Dameron came and rained fire down on all the niggas, dog?
Hey, Poe went nuts when they with the black X-wing.
Bro, he was doing martial arts with his X-wing. He was doing katas with that motherfucker. I've never seen anything like that before.
Hey, yo, Poe definitely went. He went crazy with the black X-wing, man.
He did for sure.
Poe went crazy. But yeah, bro. One thing that's been really, you know, just kind of whack on the entertainment side of things with the virus going on is bro, the MCU Marvel Studios has pushed back like all of their films for this phase, right? And you know, I was actually really excited to see Black Widow. I was kind of hoping maybe we would see them do a streaming service release or something like that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's not happening.
No.
Black Widow was supposed to come out May 1st, right? Bro, that movie is coming out in November now.
That's just coming out 115 years from now.
And not only does that happen, but that affects everything, right? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't just throw off Black Widow. It throws off all the MCU movies, man. So how do you feel about that? And that's whack.
Yeah, it's whack, bro. I'm off it. I'm off it. I was looking forward to Black Widow. I was looking forward to I was looking forward to New Mutants. You know what I'm saying? That shit looked kind of dope. You know, it's just sort of weird to think, because it's not just the movies, right? Like, because one of the things we talked about off air was like, what if instead of this, they could put out some of those Disney Plus shows instead during that time.
But it's like, we don't even know if they shot them. You know what I mean? So
no, I don't think they have. I don't think filming was done, and so like the entire entertainment world is on hold right now. So like the good news is there's so much shit that was already done and in the can that like in terms of TV release that can keep us good for a while, but like this is probably going to backfire in a way where there's going to be huge layoffs between like seasons now, which is because The Witcher already isn't coming out for like another 15,000 years. So like
Witcher, man, Stranger Things, bro. Who knows when we're gonna get the next season of Stranger Things 4. I don't know when that's happening now. You know what I mean?
I think Stranger Things is probably. I think it's done. I think they are probably good to go, but maybe not. Who knows?
I mean, if it was, I don't see why you wouldn't just drop it right now. You know what I mean? I would literally just drop it right now. But I mean, Shang-Chi, man, like I always talk about how that was my, number one, the movie I was most excited for coming up. And now, Shang-Chi was already coming out in like 2021. So who knows when that, you know what I mean?
Hopefully, I'm just saying, hopefully it stays, it's, at a point in scheduling where they can work around it, but who knows?
Hopefully, man. But, so yeah, man, with that said, MCU films getting pushed back. It's sad, but one thing we have never talked about, we're both really big comic fans. You know what I mean? We've talked about our favorite comic book movies. We've talked about our favorite comic book runs, you know what I mean, of the decade before on here. So with that said, sticking strictly to Marvel, since we're talking about the MCU, Ito-san, I need your top 5 favorite Marvel comic characters ever.
All right. So, I thought I was going to have trouble with this, and I did, but for different reasons. I was trying my best not to make all of these people X-Men. Because you know what I'm saying? Because they might just be. I fuck with the X-Men a lot.
That doesn't surprise me. You're a huge X-Men.
Yeah, I am the X-Men guy. But my number one, ironically, was never an X-Men. But I have.
Wait, really?
Yeah, we'll get to my number one here in a second. So I'm gonna start with a couple.
I'm interested to see that now.
You want, once you hear it, you be like, oh yeah, that's right. So, but I got to give a couple of, like, in light of how many X-Men I'm just totally in love with because of how integral that was for my childhood. I'm going to do a couple of honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut, and it depends on the day they could. But I'm going to go Gambit.
That's the thing about doing this is, it's always, but how many times do I change my top 5 favorite wrestlers? Like 1,000 a day.
Yeah, every day.
Well, actually,
hey, SwordCast audience, this is confession time. This nigga literally texts me every day. It was like, yo, I changed my top 5. He literally today was like, all right, I got a new top 5. It's like, bro, how?
I don't know.
So
today.
So my 2 honorable mentions that are just outside, at this moment, just outside the top 10. Unfortunately, they're both X-Men. I'm going to go with Gambit as one of those honorable mentions. And listen, Remy LeBeau, listen, bro, if you ever do a Gambit movie, or if we ever see him in a movie, which I hope we do, because he was a super iconic character.
He was dope.
I need you to go find me a motherfucker from the Bayou. I don't care if that nigga is famous. I don't care if he's famous or not. Go get me a handsome, athletic white man from the Bayou who ain't never spoken, who speaks like Creole patois. I want him to speak French. I want you to have to put subtitles for me to understand this nigga. Get Channing Tatum out of here. Get all these other Hollywood guys. You know, just give me a smooth talking, you know, classically handsome Bayou Cajun, and have him have. I'm talking about the thickest accent ever, bro. I want you go get me one of the motherfuckers from what's that show that used to come on where those white guys used to hunt the fucking crocodiles, swamp people. You literally had to put subtitles underneath them. Go get me one of those guys to play Gambit.
Yo, shout out to Gambit for being like the poster child of that 90s like Rob Liefeld face.
Bro, with the I love that shit. The face visor guard thing. I love that shit.
That was like a staple of 90s like comic characters.
All right. And then we obviously, man, you know, we got to go with the queen, man, Storm.
Hey.
I mean, listen, finally, this as early as last year, finally officially confirming her as a Omega level, something that real niggas have known for decades. But finally, Jonathan Hickman showed him some love. Finally said, "All right, look, this woman can control atmospheric particles at a molecular level anywhere in the universe. Like, this woman is literally a goddess. Like, yes,
exactly.
she is Omega level. There's no doubt about it. So yeah, she's super, super powerful and just an iconic, amazing character. So yeah, getting into the top five, starting with number 5, we're going to go with Deadpool.
Wade.
I mean, Wade Wilson, you know what I'm saying? Excellent. One of the best fighters in all of comic books. You know, we've talked about this before. Like, he's always been funny. He's always been a fourth wall breaker. The version of him now is a little sillier than he used to be, but he's still a killer.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that.
But yeah, he's still dope, man. And here's what I do like. I do like, and this isn't new. He's always had this, but that shtick that he does with him and Spider-Man, their relationship is fucking fantastic.
I love their relationship.
They got one of the best bromances in all the comics. Spider-Man.
We will see it on screen one day, hopefully.
Yeah.
Which should honestly, I mean, you know, with Deadpool being acquired by MCU, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be too far-fetched now. So
not at all. All right, so yeah, Wade Wilson, number 5. Number 4, and he could have been, depending on how I'm feeling, depending on what kind of mood I'm in, this guy could have been up as high as number 2. We got to go with Eric Lynch or Eric Magnus. God damn it, Magneto. Listen, bro, Magneto will take you and goddamn liberate your whole entire tribe. You know what I'm saying? Hey, speaking of which, bro, Magneto got the knowledge. That nigga's third eye is open, bro. He ain't listen.
Hey, and Magneto is
Magneto is quite literally. I mean, this is no secret, right? He's quite literally the Malcolm X of the X-Men of the Marvel Universe.
Absolutely.
And for all the actuallys out there who want to point out that Stan Lee didn't intend for that to happen. Like, sure, maybe he didn't, but Chris Claremont, who wrote the best X-Men,
100% came out and
1,000% absolutely did that shit on purpose.
Yes, it did. He actually admitted it too. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, he's, I mean, just a fantastic. I always loved Magneto, man. Even when he was like clearly a bad guy in the animated series.
Like, man, you got me, bro. You got me. 90s X-Men was just the vibe for everything. You talking about a cartoon that actually looked like the comic books did. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 100%.
You could read the book, the action figures, the cartoon, and the comic books. All three had the same look. You know what I mean? Like, now you turn on a Avengers cartoon and they don't always look like the guys in the movies, or cartoon don't match comic books. This is a time when everything was in sync, you know what I mean? And the X-Men were like leading that whole charge in the 90s, man.
100%, man.
Magneto he had a dope character design, got one of the sweetest powers, just the revolutionary mind, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I love Magneto as a leader.
Also, a lot of people get it twisted. Magneto's power is not just magnetism. This motherfucker, a lot of people want to. And again, listen, I love my black comic book characters. I love Static Shock. He's right here to my, above my head. Static Shock would get washed by Magneto. It's not even close. And only because Static Shock is just not as experienced, but they have, in fact, the same power. It's just that Magneto is way more comfortable with like magnetism. The power is having control over the entire entire electromagnetic spectrum. So he can do all the same shit Static Shock can if he wants to, but his sort of wheelhouse is like ferromagnetism, where he can control metal. But like Static Shock, I mean, first of all, Magneto would not fight Static. He'd be like, "Come here, hey, come here, young boy.
Let me take you under my wing.
Right? Let me show you how to do this shit right. God damn it!"
Exactly.
But if they did have to fight, Magneto is so like he also has been confirmed as an Omega level in this most recent X-Men run.
Yeah.
But he's just so knowledgeable on how to use his powers, and Magneto's so powerful that he would be a match for like some top high level, I mean, he's not going to beat Thanos, but like if you're fighting against Thanos, you're going to want Magneto on your squad.
Magneto would be effective. It's not like he wouldn't be effective.
For sure. I mean, again, he's beaten. I mean, Dr. Doom has beaten everybody at least once, but I've seen Magneto beat Dr. Doom straight up 1-on-1. Like, and Dr. Doom is one of the great villains of all time, right? Like, so when you talk about a guy like Dr. Doom and you talk about a guy like Magneto, like these are peers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So I mean, I could talk about Magneto for the rest of this whole shit. We only so yeah, Magneto number 4. Moving on to number 3, quite possibly one of the great iconic characters in all of fiction. We got to go with the Wolverine, James Howlett, Logan. Listen, bro, like a 200-year-old master assassin, martial arts, katana, war veteran, Green Beret, healing factor, feral monster, Wolfman. I'm sorry, who is damn near immortal and who has metal bones and claws. I mean, what else do you want to say?
Hey,
and also got a child by almost every woman in the whole Marvel universe.
Hey, bub.
Right. And then he steals your girl right afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah. Or maybe during, like, who fucking knows? Wolverine. I mean, what hasn't been said about Wolverine? Like, he's fantastic, and I want to see more of him. Simple as that.
Hey, man, I love Wolverine too. I just really hope the next on-screen Wolverine that we get is more of a martial arts-y Wolverine. You know what I mean? Not the brute, not the berserker brute style, which we need that, but also need to acknowledge the fact, like, let's open up the umbrella and show people that Wolverine is like actually one of the most knowledgeable, skilled martial artists in all of comics. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, no, he's a flat out trained master samurai. Like he lived that lifestyle for like 100 years. Like
he lived the life.
Yeah, no, he was. He's a real.
He's an actual samurai. You know what I mean? He's an actual soldier.
Yes,
he has done these things. He's
also he's a fucking like CIA operative as well. This he's got every combat skill you can imagine. He's like a master of.
Exactly, man.
And then I mentioned that he has claws and he basically can't be killed. I don't know if that's important. If I should mention that or not, but I feel like that's a big deal.
It's important. Yeah.
Speaking of martial arts and iconic characters, one of the other people who has probably top 3 or 4 most hands in all of Marvel, it's got to be the Black Panther.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? T'Challa. Listen, dog. You know what I'm saying? Hey, God damn it. T'Challa is, he's got the heart-shaped fruit. He's got the vibranium. He's got the suit. He's got the money. He's got the infrastructure. He's got the technology. But he's also got the martial arts, man. He's also got the hands and feet. He's got the capoeira. He's got the ahasaki. He's got all of these, he's got Wakandan martial arts that niggas don't even know about. Is also like a magician, a skilled detective, a genius tactician. This fool created a blend of physics and magic and called that shit shadow physics. He's created his own math, his own knowledge on y'all ass just because, bro.
He's a king, man. You know?
He is. That nigga is a king for real. And has beaten Captain America. Bro, listen. There was a comic book run where Cap is reminiscing of fighting against T'Chaka, Black Panther's father, and was and basically Cap was like, when they were first discovering who Black Panther was, Cap was like, hold on, wait a minute now. If I remember right, this nigga whooped my ass a few times, and I'm Captain America, so maybe we should chill. and it's me, Captain America. And he beat my ass.
That was hilarious.
Also, I mean, anytime somebody has a scheme or a plot or like needs a trump card or needs an ace in the hole, you can count on T'Challa pulling something out of his pocket and saying, "Oh, you mean this thing?
Oh, this?
Yeah, right. I got it at the crib. Just come." You know what I'm saying?
Always, man.
One of the smartest people in the whole Marvel universe as well. So just did I mention that he's a Black African king? If I didn't, then I should have. That's important. Yeah. All right. So then number 1, and here's where
because I'm kind of I'm here. I'm waiting.
Yeah, man. Number 1 is the Silver Surfer, bro. Norrin Radd.
Wow. Oh, okay. Wow.
Norrin Radd. Yeah.
Norrin Radd.
Yeah, man. The Herald of Galactus, the Silver Surfer. So I always just, as a kid, I just thought that design was just the sweetest design ever. So I was very attracted to like what the character looked like. He just looked sweet as hell. So I was like, okay,
that 90s Silver Surfer cartoon.
Right. So we'll get to that in a second. But I didn't really know a whole lot about Silver Surfer. So I dug up a couple of comics. I did some research, and I'm like, wait, this fool is like one of the most powerful characters in all of the Marvel universe. You know what I'm saying? Like he's literally has like a fraction of the power of Galactus, who is a celestial, cosmic level being, and is basically all powerful. Just to put things in perspective, though, just to give you another listen, I know y'all love Infinity War, but listen, dog, that movie did not give Thanos nearly enough credit. That nigga Thanos did not do Thanos justice. Thanos is
very strong without
without the Infinity Gauntlet. Thanos has whooped the Silver Surfer's ass on several occasions. I'm not going to say that he is more powerful than the Silver Surfer, but he is absolutely more than a match for him. No doubt about it. Just to put everything in perspective. And if he gets at least one Infinity Gem or some sort of cosmic cube, it's a wrap. Like it's over with. So anyways, so this is about Silver Surfer. His design, his like stoicism, right? You talk about the 90s cartoon where this nigga just be like cruising through the galaxy, just like nigga.
Thinking. He just,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, dog. The mysteries of the universe, dog. I'm trying to figure out.
He got some things on his mind, bro.
I'm just trying to figure all the bitches out, dog. Like, and also like the altruism of like, how can I, retain my humanity or my whatever race he was, and serve the Herald of Galactus and serve my master, but also preserve life, like. The quest that he would go on to find
that show
worlds
was mad woke for our age.
Sure, 100%. Also, that show is the best depiction of Thanos.
Animated Thanos for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Bro, I love Thanos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but the Thanos.
This Thanos was the thing about the cartoon was. This Thanos was very...
He was comic accurate. He was comic accurate, 100% comic accurate.
Yeah, and they really played into the thing with death on the cartoon, too.
Yeah, 100%. Like, he didn't give a fuck about, like, trying to preserve the balance of the universe. This nigga, his entire goal, his entire motivation was that he was in love with the entity death and wanted to impress her by murdering as many people as possible, period.
Right.
That's all. He was a crazy psychopath, crazy person.
And y'all be out here agreeing with him.
Nah, that nigga's a fucking...
Thanos is right, man.
Not gonna be able to die.
Not gonna be able to die. No. Y'all, come on, man. Like, y'all cats be agreeing with these super villains so you can get some likes on the internet.
Yeah.
Let Thanos let's have him kill half your family and then come back and tell me how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Going somewhere, bro. He's a psychopath.
That's a poor take. It's a poor take, man.
Poor take.
But no, Norrin Radd, man. Being spared by Galactus, trying to save his planet, separated from his wife, and sort of just having that on his heart to kind of drive him ever since. He's a really, I don't know, not personally relatable to me, but for him to be a space alien, his story is very human, and it makes him feel, relatable.
Yeah, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here real quick, a little bit. So, do you know the name of the planet that Norrin Radd is from?
Zenla.
Let's go. See, man,
that's
my guy, man.
Zenla. It's easy. It's easy peasy, bro. I'm about this motherfucking Norrin Radd life.
Nah, you are absolutely, man. So run that top 5 down for your boy one more time.
Yes, sir. So the top 5, we've got Deadpool at 5, Magneto at 4, Wolverine at 3, Black Panther at 2, Silver Surfer at number 1.
I like it, man. Actually,
right.
I love it. Actually, it's a very dope list, man.
Yes, sir.
Super solid list. I'm gonna get into mine now.
Let's go ahead. Let's get it popping.
All right, man. I've pretty much, I told you over the phone, I have pretty much had the same top 5 for like a really long time. So this is another one. This was it. Very hard for me. Couple honorable mentions, man. I gotta show some love. I gotta show some love to these guys that don't quite make my list.
Mm-hmm.
Winter Soldier, man.
Ooh.
I am a huge Winter Soldier fan. I remember I was lucky enough to have read the Out of Time, the story that the Winter Soldier movie is based off of. I was lucky enough to have read that in like real time when it was out. You know what I mean? So kind of being able to come up experiencing that story, And, you know, being able to flip through the pages and see a guy who's able to fight Cap to a standstill, you know what I mean? When Cap, this was at the time when Cap was just like beating the brakes off everybody. You know what I mean? So, you know, I really love Winter Soldier. I think he's got a super dope character design.
For sure.
And, you know what I mean? And he got a really dope character design. And, you know, the bionic arm, you know what I mean? The war prisoner, you know, Hydra catches him, they turn him into an assassin. And so, yeah, man. And then obviously seeing the movie, and that's my favorite MCU film. So just shout out to Winter Soldier, man. Super, super dope character. I really wish they would kind of do a better job with him in the movies, because after the Winter Soldier movie, he's kind of fallen off the face of the earth a little bit.
Yeah, yes.
So yeah, man. Another character I really like, man, doesn't quite, you know, make my list that I got to give a shout out to. Shout out to Hawkeye, man. I'm a huge Hawkeye fan too, bro.
Hawkeye.
I'm a big Hawkeye fan. Grew up reading a lot of Hawkeye stuff too. He was definitely a character, you know, that I was drawn to just from his look. You know what I mean? I thought he looked really dope. And I'm always here for the regular guy on a team full of superhumans, man.
Right.
And that's a super underrated, you know, that's a really underrated like quality. You know what I mean? He the regular guy who gets the job done the same amount and effectiveness that everybody else does. You know what I mean? And Hawkeye can fight. You know what I mean? Hawkeye he's a slept on just character, period. I mean, this is a guy who fulfilled the Ronin role. You know what I mean? And Ronin's character is a ninja. You know what I mean? Hawkeye was out here fighting the hand. You know what I mean? So
don't nobody in the MCU shoot more bloody cash than Hawkeye either.
Oh, absolutely not. He's Hawkeye's starting shooting guard for sure.
Right. That ain't shooting 97% from three.
Not the free throw line.
From three. From deep.
Right. So yeah, shout out to Hawkeye. Yeah, we're going to get into this list right now. Top 5, man. Coming in at number 5 for me, we both love this guy. Like you said before, man, just multiple lives of, you know what I mean, of the most battle-tested lifestyles you could possibly live. Wolverine, man. I love Wolverine. And, you know, I'm a huge fan of his Japan stuff, man. Like some of the things that came out, you know, in the old comics, you know what I mean, where he's fighting the hand and he's with Yuriko, you know what I mean? The girl, what's her Lady Deathstrike, right? And you know, I love that story, Silver Samurai. God, the movie was terrible, but the comic story, phenomenal. Love it. Say, man, Wolverine on number 5. Coming in at number 4, man. Do not be fooled by the terrible Netflix show. Man, coming in number 4 is my dude, Iron Fist, Danny Rand. I love Iron Fist. Obviously, Kung Fu martial arts is my thing, but just Danny he's a beast in the comic books, man. The show was terrible, but this is a guy, you're talking about some of the best, you know, hand-to-hand fighters. He's top 2, 3. You know what I mean? I love his story, man. I'm always here for the mystical, you know what I mean, arts come on. Immortal Iron Fist, man. That's one of the best stories I've ever, you know, that was one of of my favorite comic runs. I think Ed Brubaker wrote that. But yeah, man, Danny's just, you know, he's just a guy. He was raised in Kunlun, the mystical land that only appears on Earth once every like 10 years, I think it is. And he was raised there. You know how he got his powers, guys? He had to defeat a dragon. A whole dragon.
Right.
You know what I mean? To get the ability of the Iron Fist. And just, I'm here for and one thing he does in his comics, man, I love is he like talks to himself while he's fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he calls his techniques out in his head. Super dope, man. I love his character design too. His design it's really sweet. I've always liked his older design better though, like the
70s one with the
70s one with the thing with the, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The yellow joint that comes out
with the disco flared out shirt.
Yeah, I love it with the disco open shirt with showing the dragon tattoo.
With the tattoo. Yeah,
I love it. I love the old design of Iron Fist. I like it more than the new one. But though, just you know, Danny Rand got soul, bro. He's very.
Oh yeah, got a black wife.
Danny Rand got a lot of soul. You know what I mean? Heroes for Hire. I love Heroes for Hire, man. Some of my favorite stories too. So shout out to Danny Rand, Iron Fist, coming in number 4, man.
Also, real quick, speaking of Heroes for Hire, I don't know if as I'm revisiting it, I appreciated seeing a black story on TV. But I don't know if I like the respectability politics version of Luke Cage. I don't think that's what Luke Cage would be like if he was 661.
No, absolutely not. I actually got a lot of people jumped on me on Facebook a couple years ago when I was saying that Luke Cage was trash on Netflix.
Yeah,
everybody was really mad at me. And,
the first season was fine, but a couple episodes into the second season, that shit was whack, bro. Like. Luke Cage is like sure, like the comic book was campy back in the 70s, but like if the type of person that he was, if he existed now, like Luke Cage was a straight up like hustler. He was like a crack dealer.
Yeah, literally though, but dealing out justice. You know what I mean? Like Heroes for Hire, these are guys that are trying to get paid. You know what I mean? Like they're street level heroes.
He would be on some corny pull up your pants type shit. He would be like, yeah, man. He would be trying to see where the action is at. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro. Come on. When they made him hit that dab on the show, that was it for
so trash.
Trash. Yeah, man. So Iron Fist, number 4, is my dude. Coming in at number 3, we getting into the top 3. It's getting serious now. You know what I mean? It's getting very serious now. Coming in at top 3. Look, man, number 3, my dude, you want to talk about not one of the best fighters in Marvel Comics. You want to talk about the best fighter in Marvel Comics.
The number 1.
I got to go with my dude, Shang-Chi, man. Shang-Chi, bruh, you know what his comics are called? The Deadly Hands of Shang-Chi. the hands of Shang-Chi. Yo, Shang-Chi. I grew up. I don't know if I've ever told this story. The way that I got into comics was when I was a kid, me and my friend were helping a neighbor or something move they were like moving, so we're helping them move their stuff, you know, trying to get a little like $20, go buy some candy, whatever, right? And the guy had 2 huge boxes of comics, and he let me and my friend have them. I took one, he took the other one. So some of my first, I talked to you before, some of my first comic books were G.I. Joe, right? Some of my first comic books I got into were G.I. Joe. But the other ones that there were a lot of were Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, which is Shang-Chi, and Iron Fist stuff, right? So that's kind of why I was in that stuff. Shang-Chi, first of all, you're talking about the Bruce Lee of the Marvel universe. His character design was super simple, but really dope at the same time, right? I mean, same vibe as Iron Fist, right? You got the whole mystical thing. He's the son of Fu Manchu, who is like this evil kind of Mandarin-y type of sorcerer. You know what I'm saying? He's in that same Mandarin. My guy Fang Foom. You know what I mean?
Fang Foom. Let's go.
That whole world, right?
It's so weird that he was an Iron Man villain of all people. Like,
yeah, well, Iron Man was into that whole Mandarin realm, though, you know
right?
I mean?
It's just this a weird pairing, dog. I never quite got that.
But this the dopest thing about Shang-Chi, man, he's talking about a guy who doesn't have superpowers somehow, right? Does not have superpowers. Greek gods themselves have said this guy can kill a god with his bare hands. You know what I mean? Everybody knows. I love his reputation. I don't know if you've ever read a comic book where somebody's meeting him, but if they're with someone that knows him already, they're like, bruh,
yeah,
this guy.
Yeah, no, he's the shit.
You know what I'm saying?
That motherfucker is good.
You know what I mean? He's trained like so many, like, bro, he's trained Wolverine, he's trained Cap. He's not only does he beat these guys, but he trains them. Spider-Man,
yeah.
He's trained some of the best fighters. I love, man, he's got some super dope Heroes for Hire stuff back when they were doing the team, when it was like him and Misty Knight and Colleen and them. That was really dope. Mm-hmm. I love his Avengers stuff, man. When Iron Man gives him he gives him the repulsor nunchucks.
Oh yeah,
man, crazy, right?
Right.
He's just one of those, man. He's a human, but he is somehow extremely superhuman. They never say it. He doesn't have superpowers, but this is a guy who can hold his own against literally anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I love Shang-Chi, man. I can't wait for his movie to come out. And if you haven't, if you guys aren't familiar with him, read up on his stuff. I would recommend the Heroes for Hire stuff because it's not so old. You know what I mean? But Shang-Chi coming in at number 3, man. Coming in at number 2, I mean, you already talked about him. What more you want to say, man? One of the best fighters, Marvel. One of the sweetest character designs. He's the richest. You know what I mean? Not that I care about that, but let's be real. He's the richest character. The guy's got his own country. He's a genius. He's a genius in the lab. He's a genius. He's a genius with the hands. He's a fighting technician. My guy T'Challa, the Black Panther.
The Black Panther.
The Black Panther. Look, man, Christopher Priest, run of Black Panther.
Fire.
Classic. Amazing. Look, man, I remember when, obviously super excited with his own film, but when he was in Civil War, man, I remember they showed that commercial and he was getting, and those bullets from that helicopter were just bouncing off his suit. Man. Oh my goodness, man. I was so excited for that. I love Black Panther. I mean, I can't really say no more. He's representation, and we get representation by one of the dopest characters ever. It's one of the sweetest designs. So I'm being picky. I really wish he would. I just want him to rock the cape once in the movie. Right?
Oh, 100%, bro. Absolutely.
I just want him to rock the cape one time. You know what I'm saying? And I would be satisfied. Shout out to T'Challa, man. So yeah, and that's my number 2. My number 1, everybody knows Deadpool, man. Wade Wilson. I was here before, Deadpool was the goofy, I'm going to purposely mutilate myself to gain an advantage in a fight. I hate that now, but look, man, I've been on the Deadpool, I've been Team Deadpool for a super long time since I was a kid. I mean, I saw him and it's like, yo, this dude is a red ninja. You know what I mean? Basically. But then you read his stuff and they're like, he's kind of crazy, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like the older 90s Deadpool stuff, it's crazy. I love it. Just one of the sweetest character designs, one of the best fighters, super unpredictable, and I love that's what gives him the advantage over Taskmaster, right? Like Taskmaster can't fight Deadpool because Taskmaster has a photographic memory, but he cannot memorize Deadpool's moves because he's so unpredictable. I think that's so dope.
What the fuck?
Right. And I love the X-Force Deadpool, man, the gray suit.
Oh yeah, the gray suit,
still Deadpool-y, but a little more serious, a little bigger stakes. I think Deadpool really shines when he is on a team. You know what I mean? With other people. I Yeah.
I think the Deadpool movies do a great job demonstrating his relationship with the X-Men. That shit is perfect.
Yeah, man, it's hilarious.
It's just like you motherfuckers again, and it's, you know who ain't got no time for Deadpool? Fucking Wolverine, bro. Wolverine be like, yo, if you don't get your goofy ass on somewhere.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, those two have had some of the best fights in comic books. Every time they lock up, and the thing I like most about it is it's always business. You know what I mean? Deadpool might be working for some agency that wants Wolverine killed, and he just be like, you know what I'm saying?
Him again, right?
So I love Deadpool, man. Favorite Marvel character ever. Another thing, man, there was this story. Well, the thing that really made me love Deadpool, bro, was I used to read his old original. I have the whole Volume 1 Deadpool comic, every single comic book. That's probably worth a lot of money. But anyway, when I was a kid and I was reading that, there's this story where this lady this woman comes from outer space, and they get him, and they're like, "Yo, we had a vision. They can see the future." And there's this alien that's coming to destroy Earth, right? And Deadpool is kind of they call him the Mithras. He's the kind of, I guess, the Messiah that's supposed to stop this alien from coming, right? But they see how he is, and they're like, there's no way this guy is
not this guy.
You know what I'm saying? But you see Deadpool get serious for a minute and train to fight this powerful alien that comes. And then he comes and he fights him one-on-one, and this is really dope. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Deadpool, man. I love the movies. I just tone the goofiness down just a little bit in the comic books, man. I can't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? I need 90s buff Deadpool back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, man, that's my top 5, bro. Number 5, Wolverine. Number 4, Iron Fist. Number 3, Shang-Chi. The hands of Shang-Chi. Number 2, T'Challa, the Black Panther. Number 1, my guy, Wade Wilson, the Merc with a Mouth. Deadpool, man.
That's good.
So yeah, with that said, that was fun. I love talking about comic books. We talk about anime a lot. We talk about Star Wars a lot. We talk about video games a lot. I love comic books. I know you do too, so it's always fun to kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
That's our top 5 favorite characters, right? Give me just 3. Give me just 3 characters you think are slept on, but you absolutely love them.
Okay. Oh damn! I sent you that by mistake. Hopefully, you haven't looked at your phone.
I didn't look at it.
I didn't mean to do that.
I didn't look at it.
So I'll leave one of them off because I know you're going to talk about them. Man, I got to do 4. I got to do 4 because I can't. Yeah. So number 5, number 4 on this list was number 5. I'm going to go with Darwin.
Man, such a dope power, man.
Yeah, man. So Darwin is a mutant, Omega level mutant, whose power is that he adjusts. He evolves in the face of whatever danger he happens to be facing. Yeah. He evolves the means to survive it, no matter what. So if he's underwater and he's drowning, he evolves instantly to grow gills.
And him dying, I just want to throw this out there.
Bro, the most annoying thing of all time.
X-Men First Class was complete nonsense.
It was absolute, and that was a great movie too. But
the movie was fantastic, but him dying was
they were so committed to killing the black guy that they went against the comic.
They went against they gave him the strongest ability and still killed him.
Bro, listen, let me tell you how dope Darwin is. Darwin Darwin got into a scrap with the Hulk one time, and the Hulk wound back to try to punch him, to punch his lights out. And Darwin, outside of that, doesn't have any super strength, and so one punch from the Hulk would have vaporized his ass. And so Darwin's body literally said, "Fuck that," and teleported away. His body determined.
That's crazy.
his power determined that in that moment the only way I'm gonna survive this shit is if I'm just simply not here. So his body, so he just teleported away, and then he said, "No, not gonna be able to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Not gonna be able to do it."
That's awesome.
So yeah, he's really, really dope. Number 3, 4, I'm gonna go with Domino.
Ooh, I love Domino, man. Domino is somebody who's been she's been in Deadpool comics for a long time.
All the time. And her power was very, very well done in
the movie. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's very well done. Basically, her power is that she's able to psionically. The way that they describe it in the fucking comic book is so complicated. They basically say that she's able to control psionic forces for the word that they use is that she's able to manipulate probability fields. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
What is that probability field?
What? So basically what happens is that she's able to subconsciously move things or affect things in a way that work out in her favor. So like she'll shoot a bullet and it'll miss, and then it'll ricochet off a wall and kill the person who she was trying to kill. And it's not like, from what I understand, it's not reality warping. I think her power is that she's able, like subconsciously, she like telepathically move the bullet or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like but whatever the case, it's a dope ass power. Basically, she gets lucky. She's got weaponized luck, which is a dope ass power. So and she's also like a master assassin, dope martial artist, can use almost any weapon. She's super dope. And shout out to Zazie Beetz who played her. And
she killed it.
Yeah, really dope twist on her. So I'm gonna skip number 2, and I'm gonna talk about Iceman for a second. Now, I know Iceman is popular. Y'all know who Iceman is, but y'all are sleeping on how powerful this motherfucker is. He's one of the most powerful mutants in existence. He is an Omega level mutant. His power is not to control ice. That's just the thing that's the easiest. He has control over atomic particles and can control not just water, but just like molecules at the most molecular level. So he can control water, he can control air, he can control vapor, he can control ice. He can literally do almost anything on a subatomic level that has to do with like moisture particles. He is fucking, which means that he can do almost anything. Like he is super duper right.
Basically. And then like we talked about it before, Iceman, Bobby Drake, his power doesn't stop at ice. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
He's a water manipulator. That's just how he, uses it.
Right. And then number 1, now this is a super, super hot. I mean, it's not a hot take. This is a deep cut, bro. Super deep cut. This character is literally one of the most powerful characters in the entire Marvel universe. Like, I would say, like, maybe legit, like outside of cosmic level characters, he's legitimately like a top 6 or 7 most powerful person ever. And I guarantee niggas do not know his name.
Uh-oh.
Absalom Mercator, also known as Mr. M. How much do you know about this guy?
I honestly, I don't know a lot.
So
I've heard the name before.
Mr. M is a mutant. And the reason why people never heard of him is because he doesn't really give a shit about any of the stuff that the regular people care, like characters care about. He's just a guy who lives in where's that place that all the like mutant town or something like that where they had to create like a shelter for all the mutants. So anyways,
it's gonna bother me.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
So his Mr. M, his power, he literally has the exact same power as the Molecule Man. Like he is a like universal level reality warper, like on some Jim Jasper shit, like on some Jim Malloy shit. Like he has the ability to manipulate reality on a damn near, not quite a Franklin Richards universal scale, but like on a local scale where he could, I mean, he's like, okay, so basically Scarlet Witch, but way more powerful and not crazy. Scarlet Witch, but not crazy and more powerful at the same time.
Sure.
So literally, I mean, he can fucking turn, he can create life, and he's fucking Dr. Manhattan, bro. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Like, he can create life. He can like turn a battery into a butterfly. Like, he can do literally anything. Like, his power is that he is a reality warper. Anytime you have a person who has reality warping powers, they are automatically top tier, and he can do it on an Omega level. The thing about Mr. M is that he is just a regular dude who kind of just wants to just chill and don't give a fuck about the rest of the shit. So he's one of those guys that the X-Men be having their eye on because they know how powerful he is. Like, he could like change the balance of everything if he wanted to, but they just got lucky in that he just simply, that nigga just be trying to fix like toasters and keep you know what I'm saying? And he actually ends up sacrificing himself or like evolving outside of his physical body in some comic, and I think in the Decimation storyline.
Tetsuo style.
Yeah, some Tetsuo shit. But I think in House of M, he's gonna, or not House of M, but Dawn of X, he's around again somehow. But anyways, because they mentioned him in the beginning, they mentioned that he's still out there. But yeah, he is literally like a top. I mean, it may be at the worst case scenario, he's a top 10 most powerful character in all of comics outside of the cosmic level threats. Shout out to Mr. M. Dude, look him up, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like, I know it sounds crazy.
I'm definitely gonna check him out. That's
this
crazy.
nigga got infinity power, dog. Just for the sake of putting a point on this, I'm just gonna quick Wikipedia, and I'm just gonna read to you how they describe his powers. Bro, listen. This nigga is an Omega level mutant similar to Owen Reese, who is the Molecule Man. Mr. M has complete control over atomic and subatomic structure of matter and energy on all levels. So he's God?
I was just about to say that.
So he's God, is what you're saying.
Basically. Wow. That's cool.
So anyway, shout out to Mr. M. All right, that's my slept on characters. What do you got?
All right, man, just real quick, three slept on characters that I think are really dope. You know, I'm a big fan of. Number 3, it's easy. Taskmaster, man. Look, I love Taskmaster. Not only is he one of the dopest villains, he's just a sweet character, man. Like, Taskmaster is, I'm always a fan of guys who like walk both sides of the fence. You know, he's all about, you know what I mean? Taskmaster just want to get paid, bro.
He's trying to get this coin, bro.
You know what I'm saying? He's.
Uh-oh, what happened, bro? You still there? Yo, you still there?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Whatever.
You know, you might catch him. You might catch him going against Shield sometimes. You know what I mean? He's just trying to get paid. Got a super sweet power. We talked about it before. Got the photographic reflexes. Emulates everybody's style. One of the best fighters. He got one of the dopest character designs ever. My man looks like Skeletor with like a cape, you know,
right?
Sword and you know, and a shield, and we talked about it before. He's not a white guy, you know what I mean? They don't ever really. I don't know what he is, but he's definitely a person of color. But I love Taskmaster. I think he's one of the coolest characters. Period. Not just villain. I've read some of his solo runs where he's not, you know, necessarily the villain in the story. Right. Number 2, man, another guy, just a really dope look. You know what I mean? Shatterstar, bro.
Yeah, he was.
I love Shatterstar. I grew up reading the X-Force stuff, the old X-Force, you know what I mean, with Cable and Shatterstar, with Dominoes and those stories, Copycat, you know what I mean, all those sweet characters. Man. Shatterstar just always, bro, he was always on the cover with Cable, bro, and he just always stuck out to me, man. And this is a guy, you know, he's a mutant. He can got like the healing factor kind of that Deadpool has. Obviously not to the extent. That's the thing that makes Deadpool special. Is you can like cut his head off and like be all right. You know what I mean? He's got a healing factor. Obviously he's master swordsman. He can fight. But one of the sweetest comic book fights I've ever seen is Deadpool versus Shatterstar. It's really old. It's from like X-Force, like number like 22 or something from the 90s. But and I've seen him do some things with his swords. Like I've seen him open up some portals with his swords before. You know what I mean? He's just a sweet character. And he's just like one of those characters that just has that 90s. He just defines the 90s, bro, when you look at him. You know, got the shoulder pads, got the face thing we were talking about earlier, the ponytail. You know what I mean? But my number one, I slept on a character that I really like is a villain, bro, Corvus Glaive, man. I love Corvus Glaive. I know a lot of y'all, your first time seeing him was probably Infinity War, right? Corvus Glaive is the guy from the Black Order, which is Thanos' group with the staff. I don't think they didn't do him justice in the movie at all. The only thing that I liked that they did was how he was able to get into Wakanda. Remember when he got into the lab? Because that's his thing, man. So Corvus Glaive is like Thanos' right hand man, right? When Thanos is wanting to go to a planet or do whatever, or before he, you know, if he has the gems and he's doing something like that, he sends the Black Order there. And Corvus Glaive is always the first one there because he infiltrates the planet and he learns about it, and then he reports back to him and tells him, right? And he's like not only is he like a leader of this deadly group of assassins, but he can fight, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
And you know, they dropped the Black Order story, which was like their solo run, and you get the inside look at all of them. And bro, he is like mad intelligent too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I really like about him. He's not only is he a super skilled fighter, but he is very smart, and he's just a savage. He sent in the Infinity story, bro. He sends Corvus Glaive to the X-Mansion, and he just wipes out a lot of the X-Men by himself. Yeah. So he's a super dope character. He's got a creepy looking design. I really like his design too. So shout out to Corvus Glaive, man. That's my number one favorite, like, slept on character.
Boom.
So, man, before we get out of here, I was gonna ask you something, but I forgot what it was.
Some about wrestling, some about comic books.
I don't know, man. I forgot.
All right, well, that'll do it for the SwordCast.
Hey, man, you got anything you want to put me on before we get out of here?
I think I've been holding kind of steady. I got a backlog of things, man.
Hey, man, watch Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot about Clone Wars. I watched the second episode, so I'm 2 episodes in.
Okay, you making progress. Okay,
yeah, slowly but surely. Yeah, that's my next adventure is getting back into and finishing Clone, because it's about done, isn't it?
No, Clone Wars is only
it's like 7 episodes.
It's not done. It's about, I think there's only been, they did the Bad Batch story arc, and that was about like 5 episodes, and they're doing this Ahsoka story now, which is dope to see her get introduced in the show. Not the most exciting thing yet, you know. Their arcs usually take about 2 episodes to get going. So, but Ahsoka's in the next arc, so I think there's only been like 7 episodes, so you haven't.
Okay, all right. Well, that's an easy catch up.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got, man. I'm gonna, like I said, in terms of my quarantine, next on my list is finishing God of War, and then my timing is gonna be perfect because, like we said, Final Fantasy comes out on Friday, so I should.
So you're trying to be done by the time that drops, right?
I'm gonna try, but it'll probably take me a little bit longer just because I like to take my time and do a lot of exploring and shit. So I'll by at least the beginning of next week, I'll be into Final Fantasy for sure.
Word. Oh, I remember. Okay, here we go. Real quick. It's not even a crazy question.
Mm-hmm.
When this is all over, right? Assuming we're all okay and everything goes well, what is the first thing you're going to do when this quarantine period is over?
Well, I want to. Besides visiting loved ones and the old timers that you kind of got to keep at a distance. I'm gonna go hoop, bro. Fuck, I forgot. I was right in the middle of getting back into playing shape, and then even because I got the coronavirus and shit. And I remember the last day I went to go hoop was like the Thursday, the week before everything hit the fan. And I remember after every game, I would have like hand sanitizer, and I was like, I was fucking washing my shit between every game.
Man. Dang, bro.
What about you?
Oh man, I think I'm still dealing with this injury, man. I would definitely say I'm gonna go to the gym, but I don't know, how this is gonna be progressing. So, but I mean, other than that, I'm 100% going to sit down and eat some ramen somewhere.
Oh yeah, yo, we gotta hit up Ema,
man, in Detroit. It's really dope spot. I gotta go sit down and eat somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That's definitely the first thing. And also buying some tickets to a wrestling show.
Boom.
Man,
how about just going outside?
How about just literally going outside and just like having a swell time and not worrying about somebody being more than 6 feet away from you?
Exactly.
But yeah, man, thank y'all for listening. If y'all listening on Spotify, man, make sure you hit up my YouTube channel. Just look up Novelist, NOVAELISS, and I'm gonna be putting the videos. When we have video like this, I'm gonna be putting it on there. Make sure y'all subscribe. And if you're not following us on Instagram, man, follow us on Instagram at the SwordCast Pod. Follow us on Instagram, man. We're trying to get our followers up in there. We always post our top 5s on there. You guys can ask us questions, comment, do whatever, man. Thank you all for listening, man. Also, shout out to my man, Eric Greenlee. We do a fantasy wrestling all the time, and it always ends on WrestleMania. My man, EG, beat me by like 20 points, barely. He beat me. He's the champ. So shout out to you, E. And thank you all for listening, man.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Check it.
Welcome back, hero.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind to lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.